Now, when you see a number of big financial institutions continuing to load the boat into a certain stock, we all know by now that as retail investors that is supposed to be taken as a very good sign, because that means that investors continues or are optimistic about what the stock can be like in the future. That is what so many people say, always follow smart money. So smart money is basically big investors or big financial institutions that have been investing into stocks for quite number of years. These are the people that have a lot of money, or that who are able to put a lot of money into stocks. Now with that, ladies and gents, Nio, it's one of the companies where we've been seeing a number of big financial institutions continuing to add or continuing to load the boat onto this stock, because they foresee this stock doing very well in the future. Now this is one of the things that, as a retail investor myself, it makes me to remain bullish, long and strong onto a company or a stock like Nio. Now with all that, yesterday we saw obviously Nio giving us their Q3 earnings, which I must say that most of you that are investing onto Nio, you already know that Nio, in terms of the total revenues they generated for their Q3 earnings, they beat analyst expectations, as analysts were or had projected or predicted that Nio will report total revenues of below or just below 13 billion RMB or Chinese yen, which we saw Nio, ladies and gents, reporting total revenues of around 13 billion RMB or Chinese yen, which equates to around $1.8 billion. Now this is one of the things that obviously made those that are investing onto the Nio stock to be really excited. Though Nio, in terms of the earnings per share, they reported a wider than expected loss, it still of course really excited the investors, seeing Nio reporting total revenues of $1.8 billion for the Q3 of 2022. But one of the most important thing that obviously excited the investors, it was the Q4 guidance. As you all aware by now that Nio for the Q4 indicated that obviously they plan to deliver vehicles of between 43 and 48,000, which is something that is incredible and something that must of course motivate you to remain bullish, long and strong onto this Nio stock, because Nio has never delivered anything over 31,700. All they've done, or the most vehicles or the most deliveries they've produced in a quarter was 31 or just over 31,600, which are the kind of deliveries which made Nio to report total revenues of around $1.8 billion. Now to get to see that the guidance of Nio for the Q4 is 43 to 48,000 vehicles, makes us to see, or makes us to project that November and December for sure we are going to see Nio delivering record-breaking deliveries on these upcoming 2 months, which is something that is incredible and something that is making the investors to remain positive, long and strong onto this Nio stock. I mean, still on the screen, notice that pre-market this Nio stock continues, or it is doing very well, which is something that must just show you that more and more people continue to of course see the potential that this company or this stock like Nio has. Yes, I know that most stocks, what's really reviving or what's really making most stock to surge is of course the CPI figures, which we saw the US of course reporting a much better than anticipated cost of living, or CPI, which is something that obviously made a lot of the US stocks to recover yesterday. So over and above that, for a company like Nio, what made it to of course surge, or what pushed it further to surge or finish the day up over 10%, was of course their earnings and the guidance that Nio of course indicated during their earnings. So it is very important, like I said, to follow what smart money is doing, of course, or what smart money is saying, of course, about the earnings. But most of you already know that Nio, due to the COVID surging in the past few weeks in China, we saw them of course losing around 7,000 vehicles in terms of production, and of course losing 5,000, or which resulted in them losing about 5,000 deliveries. Now for the month of October, you know that Nio obviously just delivered 10,059 vehicles, which obviously Nio's plans, or as per the CEO statement, they were planning, or the plan was to break record breaking deliveries, or to produce record breaking deliveries each and every month in this Q4. So Nio for the month of October, of course, failed to beat their record in terms of deliveries, but we are to expect Nio to obviously break record in November and December, because you know that COVID in China right now, the restrictions are becoming more reduced, which is something that is positive, of course, to a company like Nio. So Nio, ladies and gents, if you are to go and have a look, like I said, at what big institutions like Deutsche said, they are really continuing to be optimistic onto this company, which is something that is incredible. Now, today, ladies and gents, we read that one of the biggest hedge fund, which is Bridgewater Associates, just increased their holdings onto Nio in the Q3 by 6 or by over 6%. Now, this is something that is incredible and something that must motivate you to say that smart monies continue to invest into Nio. Smart money continue to invest or pile more onto this Nio stock, which is something that you and I must learn from. And instead of panicking and selling our Nio holdings or Nio stock, we must continue to load the boat, because guess what? Smart money continues to be optimistic about Nio. Smart money continues to remain bullish onto this Nio stock, because they foresee, or they see Nio as that one company that will do very well in this fast growing EV industry, which is why when they decreased some of their holdings into XPeng and Leod, when it comes to Nio, instead of decreasing their holdings, they increased their holdings, because they foresee a bright future onto this company in Nio, which is something that, like I said, it should continue to motivate you to remain bullish, long and strong onto this Nio stock. Nio is a company that, ladies and gents, you need to just give it a bit of time. This is a company that, whether you like it or not, Q1 of 2024, this is a company that is going to be profitable. We already know that, or we already know the story of saying that Nio plans to become a profitable company between the Q4 of 2023 and the Q1 of 2024, which is something that must just definitely motivate you to remain bullish, long and strong onto this Nio stock. Now, smart money, guys, I will stress this again, they remain to be bullish, they remain to be optimistic about this Nio stock. Yes, the share price of Nio might not be performing the way or following the fundamentals of the Nio as a company, but one thing for sure is that as the fundamentals continue growing, as we continue seeing Nio delivering more and more cars, the share price, it's only a matter of time before it can follow the kind of deliveries that Nio will be producing, because it looks like in 2023, most of the months, Nio won't be delivering anything less than 20,000 vehicles. And one thing that I really like about Nio, ladies and gents, is obviously that Nio will be, or in the Q1 of 2023, plans to, of course, introduce 5 new models, which is something that is incredible. And of course, in my opinion, I believe that those 5 new models will include the NT 2.0 platform of their own models, and that is namely the ES6, ES8, and the EC6, which is something that's incredible and something that must motivate you to remain bullish, long and strong, because that is going to definitely bring in some serious demand in terms of deliveries or in terms of sales on those old models, which is something that is incredible and something that, ladies and gents, must just show you the kind of deliveries we can expect to see Nio producing in 2023. I mean, in Nio right now, the vehicles which are delivering most numbers are, of course, the NT 2.0 vehicles. With the ET5 for the very first time in October, we saw it delivering over, of course, 1,000 vehicles, which is something that obviously must make you to see, of course, the deliveries we might expect to see on that model, because guess what, the ET5 is the model that Nio plans to sell a lot, or expects to see a lot of deliveries coming from it because it is one of the vehicles that not only is it quite a beauty, but it is also quite affordable, or it is the cheapest Nio model right now in the markets, which is why they expect it to do very well in terms of sales. I think their plan is to at least sell 150,000 units of the ET5 annually or per year, which is something that, again, ladies and gents, it must motivate you. And still on this ET5, you know that the CEO of Nio indicated that for the month of December they plan to at least sell 10,000 of this ET5 model, which is something that is incredible. And the ET5, you know that it is the model that Nio is currently producing at their second factory called Nio Park, which is something that obviously it is amazing, and it would be really interesting to see the kind of deliveries that will come out of this ET5 for the month of November. Otherwise, with all that, guys, I remain to be bullish, long and strong, following also what smart money is doing. I will continue to load the boat whenever I can onto this Nio Stock, because I personally believe that this is just stock which is just set to do very well, and those of you that continue to load the boat, increase their holdings onto this Nio Stock, are definitely going to be rewarded with time. Otherwise, with all that, guys, I just thought I'd just give you this quick update. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that likes button, comment and subscribe. And once you subscribe, don't forget to hit or click that notification bell so that at least you get notified by YouTube every time I drop a new content. Otherwise, that's all from me, and I wish you nothing but the best in your stock market investing journey. And you already know that this video was not financial advice, but an entertainment video, or my opinions. If you seek professional financial advice, you already know what to do by now. Otherwise, before you load the board onto the Nio Stock, please do make sure that you do your own DD so that at least you can be comfortable when you are investing onto this stock. Otherwise, that's all from me, and I wish you nothing but the best in your stock market investing journey, and God bless you all.